you? So this is going to be labor and delivery story and footage part 2. And I just want to say right off the bat that I am going to be having a lot of reviews and giveaways coming up. I have one right now, and it seems like people are watching but they're not entering. So make sure you guys enter. You can read the rules in the description. So make sure you enter for those prizes. They're really, really great prizes. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so where we left off, Connor was first born, and I don't know if I told you or not, but he had to get taken to the NICU for breathing problems, and the pediatric doctor, I'm trying to think, the NICU doctor, said that his respirations were a little high and that he would have to spend the first, I don't know if it was 18 or 24 hours in the NICU just to monitor his breathing, make sure he was breathing okay on his own. He didn't have any tubes or anything like that. It was just because of the respirations and because of protocol. So, I was in my room, I guess, probably around 10 o'clock at night by the time everything happened. And the first time Patrick saw Connor was, I guess, when they took him into the NICU. They allowed everybody to go up and see him. And it was Ryan and my mom and Patrick and Connor. I unfortunately couldn't go up to the NICU. I was just in way too much pain. I was not feeling good. They had me on the Pitocin to make sure my muscles were, working after they cut me open. So it was just very, very, very uncomfortable, and I couldn't make it up there. And plus, after you have a C-section, they want mom to recover. They don't want her worrying about the baby and stuff like that, because C-section is it is a basic procedure, but at the same time, it's a very hard, brutal one on your body. So, Ryan was with Connor probably the first 18 hours of his life. I didn't really see him because I was in a lot of pain. So I'm going to show you some footage of when Patrick first met Connor, and you just got to listen to what he says. He just said the cutest and funniest things when he was in there. He was just so excited, and he was worried about me. So let me show you that footage real quick.
And I'm still breathing like up by 100, pulse oxygen 87, 85.
Trying to eat his hands.
Heart rate's like in the 60s.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, thanks.
Actually looks better than he did in the section room. He was really retracting back there.
Yeah.
He's breathing so quickly. We'll bring him on up. Alright, come on. 100 up there.
100, yeah.
Connor momming at you.
He looks just like you, right?
What do you think?
Good.
Finally, huh? You've been waiting a long time?
Did you really think he was going to be born today?
Yep.
He wants his mommy really bad.
Yeah, well, Mommy has to recover a little bit, sweetie.
Where is she? I see her.
Hello? We're just looking at the baby now. Let me get a picture with Patrick and send it to you right away. He was 6 pounds, 13 ounces. And what?
He weighs as much as a
And 3/4 inches.
3/4 inches, and he was born at 7:50 p.m. So I'm trying to get pictures now to send to you, okay? No name yet. Patrick, we haven't seen Steph in there.
His little fingers around it. There you go. Right there. There you go.
is he gonna put a shirt on?
In a little bit. I'm gonna get to the other side. It's okay, Lucas.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I have a video.
Do you know his whole name, Patrick?
How you feeling?
Okay.
Good.
Wait.
All right. You ready, Patrick?
All right.
What's the name of your brother?
Connor.
Connor. And what's his middle name?
Edward.
Connor Edward.
That's beautiful.
Wow. So that's the name you've been holding, huh? Nobody guessed it. Very good. Go give mommy a kiss and a hug.
I can't move though, so you're gonna have to
just-
come over
Yeah,
here.
let me
Just
put that
touch her
down.
a little bit.
I know you
Here, I'll
can't.
put this
I can't
down
even
for you.
move. Oh my gosh.
I can't move off of this either.
I don't think that goes down, does it?
Well, the baby. Ooh, don't touch that.
It's fine, honey.
Is this your pillow?
Just release
I
it.
didn't do it right.
I like your Tom and Jerry shirt.
I didn't do it right. Wait a minute.
So you
get
got
it.
to see him? He's tiny, isn't he?
Okay. So that was the footage of when Patrick and my mom and Ryan's mother first met Connor. Yeah. And let's see. So after that happened, my mom and Patrick and Ryan's mom came to visit me. And at that point, it was really late at night, so they didn't stay long. They just wanted to make sure I was okay. They wanted to make sure that I knew the baby was okay. What are you doing? Am I a jungle gym? Am I a jungle gym? So that was really nice that they came. And you know what? I wouldn't have been happy if my mom didn't come to see me, because, you know, every girl that gets a C-section done, they want their mommy. And I know I did. I'm just speaking for myself, but I can just only imagine that that's how a girl feels, because that's how I felt. I just wanted my mommy. I mean, of course I want Ryan, but nothing like your mom taking care of you when you don't feel good. So then, let's see. Connor was brought to my room, I guess after little more than 24 hours. I guess they had to regulate his breathing and just make sure he was okay. And Connor gave his brother a big brother present. He gave him a couple monster trucks, because Patrick just loves monster trucks. And he got him a plush monster truck, and it was Grinder. He loves Grinder. So let me show you the footage of that real quick.
Keys.
Never mind.
So much for that.
Okay.
Sorry, brother. I can't help it.
There we go. Wow.
I got
Wow.
Grinder.
Is that a big thing, Grinder?
Yeah.
Look. What does this say?
Grinder.
This is. Wow.
Don't touch him until you wash your hands though.
I'm gonna give him a big kiss.
have to put, remember I said this part goes underneath his neck. So don't put it down.
No,
Just don't.
Just stay right here. Mommy's
Position
gonna.
his arm.
Mommy's gonna lay the baby in. Ah, that. Now don't move.
Perfect.
Don't move.
You want to smile for the camera?
Look at Mimi.
Okay, so Connor was only in my room for one day. I had lactation consultants coming in to breastfeed with me, or not breastfeed with me. I gotta really think about my wording before I say it, I think. No, I had a lot of lactation consultants coming in. I had a lot of nurses and doctors coming in to check on Connor. And the day that he was in my room, he got circumcised. Poor little guy. And then, what am I trying to think of? This one is just distracting me. It's like a little monkey. So he got circumcised, and I don't know if anybody heard about the earthquake that hit the New Jersey and Delaware and Pennsylvania and Maryland and New York areas. But we were in the room, and my future mother-in-law was holding Connor, and Ryan's little brothers were there. And my mother and Patrick were on their way up to the hospital. And we're just talking and, you know, whatever. And I look over and I start seeing the blinds in my room going like this. Or no, I'm sorry. What? What happened was, I thought somebody was kicking my bed. I kept feeling like, you know when someone kicks your chair or kicks the back of your seat when you're driving? It was like a kind of feeling. And I looked over to the boys and I said, are you kicking the bed? And they said no. And then all of a sudden I looked over and the blinds in the room went like this. The whole building just started swaying. Yes, Connor had an earthquake at the hospital. And everybody started freaking out because nobody knew what was going on. I mean, when you're in a hospital, you're not really paying attention to the TV a lot, especially if you have visitors during the day, and you're not really on Facebook or on your cell phone or on the internet a lot. You're more just spending time with the baby. So everybody kind of ran out to where the doorway was in the hallways, and just nobody knew what was going on. And then and the hospital I was at was a brand new hospital, so we thought, oh my gosh, the hospital's gonna crumble, you know, it wasn't built right. Well then, the nurse finally came down the hallway because people were trying to run with their babies out the building. And they said it was an earthquake, everything's okay, you need to get back in your room. Well, I said, Ryan, grab the bags because if there's an aftershock, we're out of here. So they assured us that everything was okay, and then everything did calm down. And I did call my mother, or actually nobody's cell phones were working because I guess everybody was trying to call everybody at the same time on all the towers, and it was just, you couldn't get through. So I finally got a hold of my mother. Here, I'm going to lay him down. Here you go. I finally got a hold of my mother and I said, Mom, if you're not at the hospital yet, do not come in the building yet because there was an earthquake. You probably didn't feel it because you were driving. And, you know, we don't know what's going on. So she waited about a half hour. She actually was pulling into the parking lot at that point, and she waited about a half hour to bring the baby, or to bring Patrick in. And actually, the first floor of the hospital already started evacuating after the earthquake because nobody knew what was going on. So I think it's funny that Connor, I always say he's a little weather baby because we found out we were pregnant in a blizzard. And, all right. I went into labor on a rainy day, and then we had an earthquake at the hospital. And then, oh, excuse you. And then when we were in the hospital, because like I said, we were there for 20 days, we had a hurricane. So he is quite the weather baby. So anyway, it was probably around 6 o'clock, and I kept telling the nurses and the doctors something's not right with Connor because I could see his chest. He was working really hard to breathe. It was like, and you could see it. And finally, my lactation consultant came in just to see how I did that day, and I said, look, I know you're not a nurse or a doctor, but there's something wrong with him, and I need a doctor to check him out. And I was very stern about it because I knew that when he came out, he had respiratory problems. And she took her stethoscope and she listened to him and she said, you're right, he needs to go back. And sure enough, within 20 minutes, he was already hooked up into the NICU, and I was devastated. Alright guys, so I'm going to cut it off there because part 3 is going to be his whole NICU journey till the time he was allowed to come home. So I hope you enjoyed watching Labor and Delivery Story and Footage Part 2. And subscribe and stay tuned for Part 3. Right? Yeah. How could nobody not want to subscribe to you? You're just too darn cute. Alright guys, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.